Toronto's housing market stands as one of the most dynamic and closely watched in North America. It reflects not just local demand, but also national policy, immigration trends, and global investment flows. Over the past 2 decades, the city has evolved from a moderately priced metropolitan area into one of the most expensive housing markets in the world. Detached homes in many neighborhoods that once cost under $500,000 now regularly exceed the $1.5 million mark. This surge has created both admiration and anxiety, a success story of urban growth on one hand and a symbol of housing inequality on the other. The skyline, dominated by cranes and glass towers, tells a story of constant transformation. Yet beneath the glittering skyline lies a growing tension. Young families, students, and newcomers struggle to find affordable options, while investors and developers compete for prime land. Understanding Toronto's housing story means looking beyond prices, into history, demographics, policy, and the very identity of the city itself. Toronto's housing journey began with the post-war boom of the 1950s and 60s, when waves of immigration and economic optimism fueled suburban expansion. Families moved into detached and semi-detached homes across Scarborough, Etobicoke, and North York, shaping the foundation of the city's middle class. By the 1980s, demand began to outpace supply, and developers turned upward, building high-rise condominiums and apartment blocks to accommodate growing urban populations. The 2000s brought an even greater transformation, with the condo boom redefining downtown living. From Liberty Village to the waterfront, cranes became permanent fixtures. Yet, while condo supply surged, land for low-rise housing became scarce. The rise of foreign investment, combined with record immigration and limited new detached housing, created an imbalance that persists today. The city's housing evolution mirrors its cultural journey, from a quiet provincial capital to a global urban hub. Population growth drives Toronto's housing story. Each year, the Greater Toronto Area welcomes more than 100,000 new residents, many of them immigrants seeking opportunity. The city's diversity and job market make it one of Canada's strongest magnets for newcomers. But such rapid growth brings demand pressure on limited land and infrastructure. Millennials entering their peak home-buying years compete with older generations who already own property, and with investors looking for rental income or appreciation. Meanwhile, rental markets are equally strained, with vacancy rates below 2%. Younger residents delay ownership or move farther from the core, while established homeowners see unprecedented equity gains. The demographic story is one of contrast, between those who benefit from rising prices and those priced out of the dream. Government policy has long influenced Toronto's housing cycle. Mortgage stress tests, foreign buyer taxes, and short-term rental restrictions all attempted to slow price growth, but results remain mixed. Each cooling phase seems to rebound stronger. The COVID-19 period illustrated this vividly. After a brief 2020 dip, prices soared through 2021 to 2022. Then, as the Bank of Canada raised interest rates in 2022 to 2023, momentum shifted again. Prices softened, listings grew, and affordability worsened as borrowing costs climbed. First-time buyers were squeezed between record prices and higher mortgage rates. Policies promoting purpose-built rentals, housing accelerators, and zoning reforms are now emerging, yet the gap between ambition and reality persists. Navigating Toronto's housing system is a constant balancing act between regulation and demand. Renting in Toronto has become as competitive as buying. A one-bedroom downtown can easily exceed $2,600 a month, and bidding wars, once confined to buyers, now happen among renters. Students, newcomers, and temporary workers face long commutes or overcrowded apartments. Yet, proximity to jobs and culture keeps downtown demand high. New trends are emerging. Co-living units, micro-apartments, and flexible short-term rentals are redefining home. The rise of remote work altered the geography. Some residents moved outward to cities like Oshawa or Barrie, while others returned once offices reopened. The rental squeeze shows that Toronto's challenge is not demand, but supply. Building more units, faster, and with smarter planning is now the city's greatest need. Behind every new tower lies a complex network of costs and constraints. Land is scarce, construction expensive, and approvals slow. Developers navigate zoning battles, environmental reviews, and community opposition, all adding years and dollars to projects. Labor shortages and material cost spikes during the pandemic further strained the pipeline. The GTA needs tens of thousands of homes each year, but approvals lag. Some builders are experimenting with modular and prefabricated designs to accelerate production. Yet balancing affordability, design quality, and sustainability remains difficult. Toronto's skyline tells a story of ambition and constraint, progress and delay, a balancing act between innovation and bureaucracy. Toronto's housing market has become a mirror reflecting social inequality. Homeownership is now an intergenerational advantage. Those with family help buy, while others rent indefinitely. Rising costs push many middle-income earners into financial strain and drive homelessness upward. Shelters overflow, encampments appear in parks. Advocacy groups warn of a widening wealth gap. The average resident spends over half their income on shelter, far above affordability limits. City and provincial affordable housing programs are expanding, but progress is slow. This crisis is no longer just economic. It is moral. Housing has become the dividing line between stability and struggle. Building an inclusive Toronto means addressing this divide head-on. Despite challenges, Toronto's housing story is not without hope. New technologies, from AI-based planning tools to eco-friendly modular homes, are transforming development. Community land trusts and shared equity models are offering alternative paths to ownership. Policy shifts toward multiplex zoning, laneway suites, and transit-oriented communities promise smarter growth. Developers are integrating sustainability and smart home systems to meet climate goals. In the long run, Toronto's diversity, economy, and creativity will keep it vibrant. The task ahead is to build inclusively, ensuring tomorrow's city is prosperous and livable for all. The story of housing in Toronto is still being written, and its next chapter depends on how boldly we build today. If you're enjoying the content and want to keep supporting this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right down below. It only takes a second and really helps me out. Also, make sure you press the bell icon so you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. That way, you'll never miss out on the latest updates. And we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, ideas, or questions in the comments section. I read every single one, and your feedback helps me create even better content for you.